Hello, everyone, and welcome back to week 2 of Black Twitch League. Once again, I am Camcom joining you tonight with Cursive. Now, Academy taking blue side, currently 1-0 up on Glacial Globals in this best of 3 series.
Yeah, what we saw right there in that last game is a bit of a bloodbath. But yeah, we got the Rise, the Nocturne. They are going to take away that Gnar that caused so much problems for Glacial Global in the top side versus the Nasus. So I do like that takeaway. But now you're looking at it, it's like, what else can we actually pinch? Like the Vayne popped off so hard. Are you going to ban Vayne here? Or maybe you try to take it away yourself? There was a sub out. It looks like Kyrie is now actually going to be coming in for the side of Glacial Global on the AD carries position now.
Yeah, and with that, they've swapped around a couple of their other players as well. So Silent Elements, the top laner, the Nasus from last game, is actually going to be playing jungle now, swapping with Gummy, again the AD carrier from last game, now playing top lane. And the jungler from last game, the Hecarim, lose by 200 ping. Oh wait, no, that was the Amumu, is
Right?
actually now subbed out on the bench. So we've had a few lane swaps here for Glacial Global, making hopefully that makes game 2 here slightly more in their favor than last game.
Yeah, and I like that they took away the Amumu. Amumu support is where Amumu is at. Like the jungle Amumu is like not really that great, generally speaking, at least in competitive. Like maybe solo queue, low elo, it's whatever. But Amumu support is where it's at. So I do like that takeaway. But the other things that we've been seeing pop off in solo queue are things like the Sona and Seraphine, or like the double enchanters in general. So they are going to actually take away the Ashe. They're actually going to say, hey, this is actually how you play this lane with Ashe. And if they take Soraka, I would just love that as well.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny if they just take away the comp that Glacial Global had last game and we're just like, nah, you guys didn't play this comp. Here's how you
Yeah,
actually play this comp. But I mean,
this is how you do it.
Ashe is just such a power pick and such a strong blind B1 angle for really any team. It doesn't matter if it's a comfort pick or not, because all you have to do is know how to click E and R on that champ, and the champ is just always going to be useful. Very, very similar to a Malphite, right? Where Malphite, you don't really need gold as long as you can hit your R key and land it onto someone in a team fight. You're always going to be useful, but Glacial Global are actually matching it with a very heavy scaling that Lulu Kog'Maw.
Yo, I love this. So Kog'Maw is one of my favorite champs to play. He is wicked fun. And this is what happens when you lock at 80 carry early. At least one like Ashe, anyway. Ashe is
Yeah.
somebody who can be, a problem if she gets snowbally or whatever, but she gets outscaled. And Kog'Maw literally is one of the best scaling 80 carries in the game. So when you pair that with a Lulu, like that is so much late game insurance, even early on. Like people dramatically underestimate the damage, but I do like this follow up. J4 and the LeBlanc right here, that is actually huge. It actually sets it up so that J4 can just lock that Kog'Maw down. LeBlanc come in, blow him up. You can actually roam with LeBlanc wicked early since you do have that Ashe, right? You slow him up, you get the LeBlanc going in, even the J4. So I like what Academy is doing to actually respond here. And I think Nunu might get locked here. I think Nunu is a solid pick when you're dealing with all this sort of dashing and all that stuff with the LeBlanc and J4. So I do like this pick. It's not going to be super popular, but Amumu just has so many different ways to support his team. So the fact that Amumu does bring that little passive, what is it, speed buff, I believe, to the Kog'Maw as well. It's just another way to buff him up.
Yeah, Nunu does have that very helpful passive where whenever he autos a tower or a champion, the closest champion to him that has the highest attack speed gets a little bit more attack speed and movement speed buff for just a few more seconds. Very nice passive for when you do have a very high damage, very high attack speed champion like Kog'Maw. So Glacial Global really showing their comp identity very early on here. It is a very hard protect comp on the Kog'Maw, which is something that we saw a little bit from Academy in game one, right? Like in draft, if you took a look at their comp, it was mostly a protect the Vayne comp, and they did play it very strongly, although they did mostly play it strong side top, and Kog'Maw is going to require basically every resource on the map if he wants to get nearly as strong as the Vayne did last game. And when you're going against a J4 LeBlanc too, very heavy dive champions. I mean, if either one of them are able to lock down this Kog'Maw, he is not going to be allowed to move really whatsoever or do any sort of the late game damage that you do try to pick him for.
Yeah, and the band that we're actually not able to see it was a Garen, I believe, which is pretty interesting. And the nice thing about Kog'Maw is I do like this TK ban if this goes through. TK, yeah, that's actually a really good ban. He is such a problem right now in almost every lane except support. So TK, super, super strong. But the thing that I like about Kog'Maw is he can build tanks. So you get Wits End, Shield Bow, and those two items alone, if you go Plate Boots as well, like that's another item that you could do. Oh, they are just going straight in, straight up Juggernaut comp right here. We get the Shin as well. So I love what they're setting up right here. This is just straight up Juggernaut, old school Cogmaw. And if this actually works, it's going to be extremely difficult to shut down this Glacial Global squad.
Yeah, I mean, if they are ever grouped up as five, I don't think you're going to be allowed to touch this Kog'Maw with a 10-foot pole. And if you do,
Mhm.
then what is the rest of his team doing? I mean, their entire comp is just built on keeping Kog'Maw alive, but that
Mhm.
also gives a very known weakness is if you do manage to kill the Kog'Maw, then they really do have no backup damage unless they pick something that has a little bit of damage for itself here on R5. And now for Academy,
Brazilian.
B4, B5, locking in that set Pike, even more dive pressure for Glacial Globals to try and fend off. But Aurelia, ooh, that is not a champion I
Okay.
was expecting.
That yeah, no, I was thinking like they were just gonna full on commit like Zillion, Oriana, something like that. But they actually pivot right there. They go down to the Aurelia. That's actually good because Aurelia has a lot of lockdown, right? With her ultimate, with that stun, and she scales as well. So now it's not just about the Kog'Maw. Now it's another, if this goes late game, you don't just have the Kog'Maw to worry about, you have the Aurelia as well. But I like what we saw out of this side of Academy, picking up the set and the Pike. Set can be so, so good into Shin if you play it well. But the nice thing about it is obviously, you can always pull back or you can always, showstopper him out of his little ultimate and everything, the Twilight Shadows. And Pike is, oh gosh, he's like the bane of Kog'Maw's existence, unless you get Man or a Thresh with you. Like Lulu can be okay, but because Pike has so much follow-up CC, right? Like you get the stun off, right? And then you're gonna hook them, and then oh, by the way, you don't have any items yet. You're not tanky yet, so that ultimate that Pike has is just so huge. You're just able to put out so much pressure so early and set Cog so far behind. So I love the pivot that Academy just went through right here, and now it's just. I mean, they want to get to late game, but now it's about can you survive the early game? Because if Ash lands a W on you, and you're level 6, and Lulu, I mean, even with of the peel that she has, like it's still gonna be very, very difficult for Kog'Maw to actually survive this lane early.
Yeah, and if anyone builds any sort of shield breaker items on Academy, that's going to negate almost all of Lulu's presence, especially pre 6. But I mean, you're probably not building that item pre 6, right? But still,
Mhm.
you're going to negate a lot from Lulu. Nudu's got a lot of shields for himself as well. And of course, the entire Shen ultimate. That's just a massive shield. The shield breaker item that I can never remember the name of, that is like a crucial part of really,
Circumstance?
yeah, that one. Academy, like, come on, just build that item. You're gonna negate basically everything Glacial Global wants to do here with the power of the shields. But then on the offhand chance that they don't build that item, I mean that there's gonna be shields for days. That's all I'm gonna say. Shields and
I
heals for days.
I think you actually make a really good point, and I think Ash might actually do that. We have seen lethality Ash sometimes. I'm not saying it's great. Like, don't play lethality Ash without reason, or even build any of those lethality items. Even though I feel like with the buffs that have happened to like Umbral and what's the other one called? Yomus. Those two have actually been pretty solid now that they've gotten buffed up. But if you do rush something like a Serpent's Fang on Ash just to like kind of, with the Runans or something, I could absolutely see that like kind of working in your favor just because she is more of a utility carry. She could get away with it. Um, at the same time, though, it is really going to fall on Pike to set these up, set these dives up, and J4 as well. So I feel like anytime LeBlanc gets any sort of prio, she's going to be looking bot. And the fact that you're into Aurelia, like Aurelia can actually deal with LeBlanc. So it sets it up to be really interesting to see how this is going to go. Because if either team misplays just a little bit and, you start snowballing a LeBlanc or on the other side, you start snowballing Aurelia, it is so tough to deal with either of those champs just by the nature of their kits.
Yeah, Academy's team comp really is not fit to deal with an Aurelia, like, at all. Like, you can Ash ult her, and that's about it. And it is very hard. It is quite the feat to try and land an Ash ult from across the screen onto an Aurelia who just, presses Q a few times and is not anywhere near where she was when you shot that Ash out, right? So, other than that, you can try to hook her, but I mean, you just do not have enough CC in the world to deal with this Aurelia if she does get ahead. And on the other side, Kog'Maw. Both of these champions, very large threats if they get ahead at all. They just have to be able to find that lead early on and not be bled out super early like they were last game, where it was just one kill into another kill into another kill, and they kept going for the 1v1s or 1-for-1s or 2-for-2s, right? And it would just never pan out for them. It was just so unfortunate, like every time, man.
Yo, I am actually so excited to see this play out because each one of these teams are running something that we don't see often. You might see some of these picks scattered around in like other comps here and there, but like you don't see the straight up Cogmaw comp anymore. Like
Yeah.
you see it sometimes with some double enchanters, but not with an Aurelia, like or a Nunu. Like that's crazy. And then on the other side, like I've seen J4 and LeBlanc actually pop off wicked hard, but then when I'm looking at a Pike going in with it, like yo, like what happens if J4 like ultis in Demacia and Pike is just like, oh, by the way, here goes my R, buddy, and like he just gets resets. Like I feel like that is actually so cracked out. Like if that actually happens.
Yeah, hopefully, but we do have a few more minutes left here in Spectatorly. We will be going to a short pause here as we do go into game 2 tonight. Now, remember, Academy currently 1-0 up on Glacial Globals. If they win this game, that takes the 2-0 of this best of 3 for themselves. Glacial Globals, they gotta find this game, they gotta find next game, and then they take the series for themselves. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back with your game 2 here tonight. Welcome back, everyone, to Game 2 tonight of our first best of 3 of the night. Once again, I am Camcom joining you tonight with Cursive, Glacial Globals on red side, now currently 0-1 in this series against Academy. And this draft, we were talking about this in between the games. I like this draft from both teams a lot more than the draft in Game 1.
Yeah, exactly. I really like both drafts a lot. And look at this, we got a little we got a wreck brush.
Oh no, Silent Elements! Oh, unfortunately did not have the reaction speed right there to flash away from the hook. Very nice hook there from Bossy for the first blood, and never saw. He finds himself in a 1v3 here. He could be looking to go back in, but he does not have that E leveled first on Aurelia. He's going to be ignited and taken down by Ramojo as well.
Yo, that was huge. And never saw, I don't know why you went there. Like, you just saw everybody there. Like, maybe he was like, oh, I just want to see like if they're still gonna be there. And they call this bluff right there. So that's gonna be 2 kills going over to these solo laners. And I feel like that's actually pretty big. They are gonna try to put down some offensive vision there on that blue side. But yeah, look at this. Bozzy is just a beast. He's trying to steal everything.
He's cosplaying Polypuff right here. He will force that smite. I was gonna say ignite. It's not ignite. It's actually smite from Silent Elements. But I mean, in what world are you really gonna steal a buff away from a Nunu? Like maybe another jungler, yes, but Nunu, you got a Q smite. You got like an 800 smite level 1. It's hard to steal that away.
Look at this, Kiri's in a lot of trouble.
Oh no, Kiri, he has the flash, he does have the cleanse available. Bozzy does not have either of those available. Now is Alawi getting a lot of early damage here off on the Ashe. Kiri is forced to flash away, but flashing after Alawi, able to pick up that kill for himself. Kog'Maw passive, not going to do a whole lot of damage quite yet, but meanwhile in the top lane, Gummy versus Mojo having their own 1v1. No flashes, no ignites available, just lots of tank 1v1s up here.
Yo, this is actually turning into a small disaster for the side of Glacial Globals on this red side. Like, it looked like Nunu was going to be there in time to maybe try to catch that out. But yeah, it just went south so quick. And that's so big for Kiri on this Kog'Maw because he's missing out not just on CS, but on experience. Look at this. Ashe is already level 2. Kog hasn't even hit level 2 yet. Ashe is about to be level 3.
Yeah, that is the power of freezing your wave, right? As Gummy. Man, one more auto takes him down so low with the help of that W damage, right? And you can see that happening in the CS lead as well, really in all 3 lanes, right? The only CS lead for Glacial Globals is in that mid lane, and that's what we were predicting in Champ Select, right? As Aurelia versus LeBlanc, much more one-sided than Syndra versus Orianna matchup, as Gummy stays a little bit too long up there in the top lane. I think you could have probably TP'd back to that wave, but Silent Elements says thank you very much and takes a very large wave for himself.
Yeah, he's at least getting something out of this. Oh, TP!
Oh, flash with the shield, just about able to survive. Now Marigold, he's left all alone. No mana left on the J4, nowhere left to run. First kill going over to Neversaw.
Yo, that was actually so good by Neversaw to make that rotation up because they absolutely needed his help right there. And yeah, this is actually starting to get a little loose right here for 3 minutes. When you look at these comps, you're not predicting, you know, a bloodbath, you know. It's 5 kills already, and it's not even 5 minutes, so it's already more than 1 kill per minute at 4 minutes in. That's actually crazy. So I like what Alawi and Bozzy did right there to take away that scuttle crab. That's huge for them. And yeah, they're actually going to rotate down, catch this wave out, and it's going to get frozen. And this is actually something that we saw in last game as well, where it was constantly frozen on them. And we'll see if Kog'Maw gets caught out again. Alawi is actually at that HP deficit, and Kiri's looking for this fight.
Yeah, Hook could land here, just about goes wide, though. Now Gummy once again trying to look for a 1v1 up here. Top lane, nice flash away. Silent Elements able to pick up his first kill of the game, and Kiri doing the same down in the bot lane.
Yo, that was so sick. Yo, Silent Elements came through, hitting that snowball. Nice flash away by Gummy to make sure he actually stays alive. And then on the bot side, look at this. Kiri got a kill right there, so that is huge. He is a level down. He's pushing in this wave. Ashe is going to try to stay to get this get all this XP and all that stuff, so they're gonna back by. And you know, if you're Kiri right there, you're just like, yo, that was so clutch to secure that kill, because now he's gonna be able to actually catch back up to this Ashe. And yeah, they're stabilizing. They're only 400 gold down now, so that's 2 kills in a row that they just got to catch up right there. So Drake is on the table now. Cloud Drake is up. It looks like another 3 minutes for Rift Herald. Miratical is going to spot this ward out, and he already sees that some of his chickens have got taken away. So yeah, like, this is really nice proactivity out of the side of Glacial Globals to stay in this game.
Yeah, Glacial Globals, right? They saw game one. They saw that inactivity just leads to a very rapid loss. Now, they're finally making these plays here. Very nice to see in game two. Maybe early on in the first couple minutes, they might have been a little bit outroamed, right? And I mean, just the double kill level one was just rough for anyone. But still, they are making a comeback here. They have closed the gold lead very nicely to just under 1,000. But that first Cloud Dragon will be taken by Academy this game.
Yep, and Ramoja's just pushing in this wave, right? He's probably not going to back. He just came back to lane and everything like that. No TPs available. Nobody's level 6 yet. Never saw. Nice little free setup right here. And yeah, I like the way King is actually playing on this LeBlanc, making sure that he's putting down a lot of damage. And I dig it. And look at this. Radical's here.
Radical's here, but you don't have E available on the pipe with the exhaust. He's just going to be going down now. Curie looking to take down the second for himself. He wants to find a unofficial double, but Bozzy just a little bit too loose there on the pike.
Yo, I think they're going to try to dive this, right? Like, it looks like,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Silence here.
Oh no, this is gonna be a pretty rough dive. You don't have any hard CC if Silent Elements is not able to land that W. Is now Curie. He's called out. Shutdown gonna be falling over to Bozzy, and he's gonna heal up so much in that Pike W, but it doesn't even matter. You forget about the Kog'Maw passive. Everyone forgets about the Kog'Maw passive. He's still able to make it a 1-for-1. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, Ignite is ticking, but I think Neversaw is going to be safe. You do see Enchanted Crystal Arrow is shot, and it's gonna land, but unfortunately, just not quite enough damage there.
Yo, what an exchange right there. Kog'Maw, I mean, he wanted to dive that, but the wave wasn't there yet. So Silent was like, yo, okay, just back off. I'll take these Krugs. Unfortunately, in that time, Bozzy was like, yo, we're going forward. You're not safe. He hits that clutch hook. They do trade 1-for-1. I will say Cog is... you know, losing out on XP, and there's trading in the top side, and Cog still wants to fight.
He still wants to fight. He's gonna flash in a 1-for-2. He still wants to try and find the kill. Even if he does die, he could still make it a kill with this passive flash coming out. Shen ultimate popped as well, and it's gonna be a double once again for Curie. Absolutely insane on the Kog'Maw.
Yo, are you not entertained? 7 minutes in, and Glacial Globals are showing up. What a clutch play by Gummy to hit that shit. Oh, taunted under the tower.
Oh, taunted under the tower. Mojo taking way too many tower shots, but Gummy just autoed down so quickly. Definitely in lethal of a W right now from Set if it does land.
Yo, like, Curie on this Kog'Maw is playing for blood. He is out for it. I said it in Champ Select. People dramatically underestimate.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I was holding my breath there too. I'll say this real quick. They dramatically underestimate how much damage Cog can do early.
Yeah, you think Kog'Maw is only late game damage, right? And then in these early levels, he wasn't even level 6 yet. He's already 5 and 2, and now you see 3 members of Glacial Globals roaming up to this top side. Ramojo flashing in onto Gummy, wants to make this a 1-for-1. No, he knows he is about to die. Could try to find a kill into Neversaw. Does a lot of damage, but Aurelia says no thank you and finds it for himself instead. Now Miracle flashing in with the Cataclysm, but dodged right out with that Q from Aurelia.
Yeah, I like what Ramojo did right there. He was like, yo, I'm dead to rights. Let's just go for it, baby. Let's go forward. He flashes in there, gets that kill 1-for-1. I dig it. And Neversaw almost drops right there. He was really, really close. But Neversaw, even though he did get a kill right there, he is going to actually have to back right here. So LeBlanc was pushing in that wave the entire time. So LeBlanc just got all that solo XP. She probably could have got a plate right here. And look at this bot side. Like, I feel like there's trading all the time in this bot side, the way that Curie and Alawi are playing. And if Pike hits anything, Kog'Maw's got 5 kills with a 300 gold bounty. Like, he's pretty big already.
Yeah, he is pretty big right here on the Kog'Maw. Unfortunately, is still down a little bit of CS just because of the early game freezes that Alawi and Bozzy were able to find on him, as Miracle trying to take a Rift Herald from a Nunu is going to be stolen away, and Silent, he's just trying to walk it out. It's a very fast Nunu. It is so hard to catch, and he is going to be forced out of that set ultimate now, and Gummy has to flash as well. Unfortunately, will be going down, but 1-for-1 back down on the bot lane. Another kill going on to Curie, and Neversaw looking to find a 1v2 for himself. Lots of healing on the Aurelia, but unfortunately just not quite enough damage to make it happen.
Yo, this is actually crazy. This is turning into a highlight reel of a game. Like, all these big plays are happening 10 minutes in. I like the smite that Nunu did right there. Just steal that Herald away. But then there's just a bloodbath. There's a trail of dead bodies in the wake of it, and we're just seeing both of these teams really want to win this game, obviously, right? And Curie is really starting to take over. And on the top side, we're looking at Ramojo. He was already a beast on that Gnar, but now we're seeing him show up on the set too. So great plays by both sides. And now I feel like at this point, since Cog has 6 kills and you're up against the Ashe, like you're gonna have to send more people to deal with Kog'Maw at this point.
Yeah, and that is pretty hard to do when Silent Elements has been hovering this bot lane for basically the entire game. You have a Shen ultimate available as well, basically has been exclusively saving it for the Kog'Maw and Silent Elements. He's diving in real far. There is no tower left, and the little bit healing from Lulu ultimate will save him, but just not quite long enough, as now all 5 members are collapsed onto Curie. Shutdown will finally fall to King Annihilator, and the rest of Academy take the rest.
Beautiful. That was just a team fight win right there. They just win in everybody. They just said, send everybody, let's go, shut down the Kog'Maw. They end up losing it, and look at this. More fighting in the mid-side. Oh, what a play.
Oh, the flash coming out from King Annihilator saves his life for just long enough for Ramojo to find a kill on the Neversaw.
Yo, Ramojo is just everywhere at the right place, right time. This top laner is really impressive right here. I like what we're seeing. And yeah, that is going to be that Drake secured for the side of Academy. So they are starting up that Dragon Stack. It's going to be an Ocean Soul. So we're going to have to see how Glacial Globals is going to bounce back from this, because that was a big shutdown when going over to the set. Look at LeBlanc. She's 3-0-5 as well. Like, that's your one-shot threat to this Kog'Maw right here. So,
Oh.
Okay, I thought I was about to face breaker in. But yeah, what a hype game that we're seeing. It's only 12 minutes in. They're over 20 kills.
They are over 20 kills. They are also over 3,000 gold lead in favor of Academy. The entire gold lead that they had for Glacial Globals was thrown onto Curie. It is all going to be in Curie's hands, especially going into the late game here, where Neversaw, yes, he can do a little bit here in the early game, and you see Ramojo, man, he is just not allowed to play top lane whatsoever. Curie nicely not going to dodge in that W right there, though.
Yeah, and look at this, more fighting.
Neversaw not able to dodge out the W from King Annihilator, and going to be ulted by Shen as well, just to make sure that he's able to live. But just so many abilities, so many huge cooldowns thrown, and unfortunately not any kills to be found. Curie, he's actually hooked underneath the tower. He's gonna tank it, but I mean, Lulu ultimate, plus he already has shield bow finished, by the way, before the 12-minute mark even hits. You're not going to kill Curie again unless you throw all 5 members on his head once again.
Yo, this pace is unsustainable. Like, now it's just about who's going to crack first. Like, there's so much fighting, so much trading going on at basically every point in the map. Who's going to crack first?
Who is going to crack first? Is once again just every 1v1 that these mid laners are able to take, they're going to take, as Neversaw with the fully stacked passive able to find that one. Curie, very nice getting back, lots of autos able to be done, but unfortunately Ramojo is playing a tank. He can't quite kill him yet, as Gummy finds the same fate for himself in bot lane.
Yo, I mean, that was just a hell of a play on that bot side. I really like the way they executed that dive. The way that Neversaw ends up picking that up as well was actually pretty cool. So there's a lot of scrappiness from both of these teams. These players are really showing their mechanics, their prowess, and I gotta highlight how good these players are. Like, the way that they're playing some of these mechanically intense champs, like Aurelia and a LeBlanc, it is highly impressive to watch this.
Yeah, like that. I'm not going to forget that Aurelia Q out of the Cataclysm onto a minion and then like back in and back out rapidly to do the damage. Like, that is the kind of stuff that I do not get to see in my Golden Plat solo queue games. Like, that is not going to happen in low elo tournaments, right? And I do believe Neversaw is the Masters player for Glacial Global, right? So that does kind of show that there are some much higher ranked, much more micro intense champions that are actually able to be played at those high levels in this tournament.
Yeah, and exactly. So I will also say, like, Shen is way behind NCS. Like, he's not CS at all. He hasn't finished his, like, he went Bramble and play boots. Like, he's been trying to, like, deal with all the scraps that are coming out. He's like, oh, every time his ultimate's up, he's ulting in, trying to get out of there, TPing out, like, getting dove. That's going to be another turret falling on the side of Academy as well. So that's a huge discrepancy. He's down almost 60 CS. But, I mean, he is Shen, but Shen is one of those tanks where he's not Ornn, you know? Like, he does need... Oh, look at this.
Curie taken down real low there by King Annihilator. Is forced to use that Lulu ultimate, but still, that is a fairly short Lulu cooldown. If they do decide to go back onto Curie here, hooked into that ultimate, Curie just not able to walk in this jungle whatsoever, but Bozzy taken down real low. Neversaw wants to turn it back around. Ultimate coming up from Silent Elements as well. Absolute Zero doing absolutely no damage, but Neversaw still is huge on this Aurelia. One more auto onto King Annihilator. Could have found himself a triple kill inside of his own jungle, but Ramojo not quite done with this team fight yet. Gummy forced to run away, but Neversaw fully stacked passive on the Aurelia. He's going to do crazy damage if he just is able to find anyone to auto attack as the passive about to run out. Taunt about to run out as well, but Ramojo too big of a shield to kill. It is just constant fighting. Still a 3v3. Gummy, where did he go, man? The Shen blown up. That is the take gone from your team. Now Zombie does not have that ultimate available, but it doesn't even matter. Neversaw still going in. Ramojo flashing away from Neversaw, but it doesn't even matter. He finds himself a double kill. He's looking for the triple, but he's not going to find it either. King Annihilator stealing away that shutdown.
Oh my, did I just see that? I don't even know how to describe that. Yo, Ramojo shows up right there. Knight is shining armor on this set. Like such a, like the way he played that fight was actually insane. And then King on this LeBlanc to get some of these follow-up kills, to get that Triumph passive. And yeah, Silence dead.
There wasn't a Nunu there. It's okay.
Yeah, and I like what they did right here. They said, hey, let's go ahead, take this Drake that is going to put them on soul point. And yeah, on the side of Academy right here, like they are really coming to play. Like Ramojo is a top laner that I'm going to be looking at for the rest of the season. And King on this LeBlanc as well. Like everybody seems to be playing so well, so opportunistic. And the reason why that went so well for them is they control the jungle vision once again. That's 2 games in a row where they are highly investing in this vision game, and they're really making plays here. And it looks like Set might be in trouble. Everybody's here collapsing off.
Yeah, that was a nice Ashe arrow landed. It is yet to be determined if it was going to land. Not going to be able to find its target as once again 2v2 Neversaw already doesn't have Lulu available. Shen'll coming in once again, making it a 2v2, and Nunu rolling in as well. Suddenly, there is just no more hope left for this top side for Academy. Curie walks into the death bush of all death bushes. Passive will still deal a little bit of damage, but the rest of Glacial Globals want to look for a disengage. I don't want to say disengage. I don't think disengage is in these teams' vocabularies this game. As once again going right back in onto Neversaw. Now Neversaw is finally dead. Big shutdown going over to Alawi, and Silent Elements will fall quickly after.
Yo, this is actually crazy. So it's actually starting to break open. I was asking who is going to crumble first, and it looks like Glacial is starting to show a little bit of cracks in the armor here. I mean, I like the idea. Like, Ramojo is huge. I like that Aurelia did get that big shutdown. Like, that was 1,000 gold shutdown right there on the side of Aurelia, who just completes the Divine Cinder and that Bork. So she's big. She's got 2 items at 18 minutes. That's a big Aurelia, right? But when you're looking at it, Ramojo just basically says, like, yo, you need to bring more people, baby. You got to bring more. Like, 2 ain't enough. 3 ain't enough. You got to bring everybody. He's hungry. He's trying to eat. He wants to get fed more. He's 10, 3, and 6 right now. So I like what we're seeing from this set in particular, and the way that they're rotating down, making sure that they're investing in vision, clearing up vision, and also picking up these objectives. So Soul Point is going to be up here in less than 3 minutes. So Ramojo looking for Gummy. He is picking on this guy.
Yeah, Gummy, I mean, you can see it in his CS score, right? He has just not been allowed to play League of Legends in this game, too. And not really game 1 either, right? Like, he was just absolutely destroyed. He wasn't the Nasus player. He was the AD carry, I believe, right?
Yep, Ashe. He was
so even the Ashe last game was not allowed to play League of Legends. Shen now in game 2 with the role swap, with the champion swap, just having the same unfortunate story. He is playing a tank, though, and tanks are very hard to kill usually, but I mean, as I say, that usually is going to be the bolded, italicized, underlined word of that story.
Yo, I like that. So Shen is a tank, but he's like a fighter tank. Like, he's kind of a weird sort of tank. He gets tanky, but it's not the same sort of tankiness as Ornn. Like when Shin is ahead, he is super strong. When he's behind though, like you see, like this set is actually just gonna start diving him 1v1. Like now Shin can't even stay under his tier 2. And I like this. Look at this. Baron started up. It just spawned 7 minutes or 7 seconds ago and still oh no, Silent.
Oh no, Silent Elements. I mean, Zombie has his ultimate available if they want to try and continue it. Unfortunately, Enchanted Crystal will miss onto Ramojo. Curie now going to be eaten. That is definitely the target that you do want to ult if you are the Lulu, but not even going to have to use it. You find one shutdown on the Neversaw, and you immediately lose the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, right there, Ramojo was like, yo, like, if I can just, stop Silent from actually going over there, that's perfect. Because you don't want to try to outsmite a Nunu. And, since he can just Q-smite, right? Like, he's super good at securing things. And there goes the Demacia by Moradico. And, yeah, they might go for another dive on this guy.
Man, Gummy, he signed up to play League of Legends, man, and I just feel so bad that these games he's just been denied the ability to play League of Legends. Like, he's 53 to 139 CS. Like, it just pains me to say that. He's going in for another 1-for-1 right here, but Neversaw could actually look to chase that as TP goes on to the Rift Herald.
I like it.
Enough, and I mean, Gummy, he gets to walk away with his life for that one, but I hate to see that one again.
Yeah, he's getting that second charge off on this inhib tower, and wait, did they just stop that?
They stopped it. There is no hit on the inhibitor tower.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, hey, well played by Glacial then. That was awesome. I was not actually, I was not seeing that happen, but I like what Ramojo does right there. Look at this. Like, they're starving out this jungler. They're starving everybody out. Like, all you can do right now is just wait for somebody to make a mistake. And,
yeah.
Ocean's full.
I mean, you have a fairly large goal lead for the side of Academy, right? But still, all of these fights, if Neversaw pops off, if Curie pops off, if more importantly, if Curie is picked off, now Neversaw, he has to be the one going for 1v5 here. He finds one, he's looking for another, lots of damage from his Qs, but unfortunately it is not going to be enough. Miracle, the one able to shut him down, but now the rest of Glacial Globals have arrived. First shutdown fallen to Silent Elements, and Miracle taken out real low. Now it is just Ramojo left. King Annihilator not able to walk back into this fight whatsoever. Gummy taking a real low flash from Ramojo, able to secure that kill for himself, and Zombie now is the next one forced to walk away. Double kill for Ramojo, hanging on to the soul for Academy's life.
In set we trust, right? You're putting that, he's just money, baby, built different. That's going to be that soul point going over to the side of Academy right here. And it looked for a second like Glacial will have it. Like, I was like, oh, they're actually going to win this. And I felt like
TP.
TP coming in. Okay. It's too late. Yeah,
it's too late. But it is Neversaw and Zombie. Like, if there were two members that were going to 2v5 this team, it would be Neversaw and Zombie for right now. But unfortunately, just they don't quite know where King Annihilator is. I'm going to hold my breath for just a few seconds here as Ramojo is going to find Zombie. Zombie, I think, is just going to be the noble sacrifice for Neversaw to be able to walk it out.
Yeah, they're wearing purple. They're feeling really good right now. Purple. Yeah, marbles in the mouth. They're wearing that purple. They're feeling really good. They got the Ocean Soul. So now I want to see how they're actually going to clean this up, how they're actually going to win right here. Like, do you just group 5 and, run it down? Or do you say, hey, Ramojo, do you want to try to get some more kills? You go top, we'll go 1-4, see what happens. And all this is spotted out. So, like, they know exactly where Curie is. So if they want to collapse down on him, they absolutely can. Ash and Pike are already on the bot side. So maybe they're going to start up some sort of 1-3, 1-2-2 or something. But I want to see what they're going to do with this Baron because...
Oh. Wow. I cannot believe Curie actually just survived that. That is the power of Immortal Shield Bow right there, ladies and gentlemen. That item is just so strong, even if you are ahead, as now Neversaw, unfortunately, does not have the same power of an Immortal Shield Bow. Is Bozzy able to pick up yet another shutdown for himself on this Pike?
Yeah, it looks like the Baron actually timed out, so that's unfortunate. Yeah, so like they weren't able to like siege anybody down, but the fact that they got so much done, for the fight for that Ocean Soul, it's almost worth it. And yeah, Bozzy with that securing that kill with that Pike ultimate, they're still sieging it down. Curie's up, but I mean he can't stop this.
No, I don't think Gummy is able to stop this topside push either. We've seen this 1v1 happen a few times
Yeah.
now, and I mean, where did the wave go? I don't know. Step press W, and it is just magically gone. It's the same story is going on for the bot side here as well. Inhibitor will fall. It is almost once again a 10,000 gold lead in favor of Academy, but this game was played much better by Glacial Global. They found 16 more kills in this game too than they were able to find in game one, but it is still not over. King Annihilator finding yet another kill onto poor Zombie, as Neversaw tries to go for the 1v3 Aurelia play. Unfortunately, is still not quite fed enough to do so as Carry. That is a very sad B right there.
Yo, Ramojo was putting out so much healing, like with the Triumph, with that Gore Drinker and everything. Like he healed back to full almost, and that was actually crazy because for a second it looked like once again like maybe they overstayed or overstepped, but no, they just outskilled it at that point. So much coordination between Radical and Bazier. It was just so good, so clean, and yeah, they're pushing it down. They broke open the inhib tower. Everything is in shambles. The base is in shambles. Everything is down. And basically, if they want to end right here, they absolutely can. But Ramojo's trying to back, so they're having a lot of fun. So they don't want to end it just yet.
Yeah, you can play it safe, right? If you are Academy, you do have Baron spawning in just 20 seconds here. It is definitely a Baron and end type of angle here. If you are Academy, it is just 2 more towers remaining in between you and the Nexus. No inhibitors left for Glacial Globals. Does not mean that they are not going to go for a fight, though. Exhaust is popped onto Ramojo. Unfortunately, does run out before Neversaw is able to fully stack that passive. Huge ultimate from Ramojo lands to all 5 members on Glacial Globals. There is no more team fight left. Triple kill for Ilaoi, and that is the end of game 2, the end of our game series tonight. Academy taking Glacial Globals 2-0.
Yo, clip it and ship it, Ramojo, Radical. Yo, that was so hype with that ending right there. I mean, they were way ahead, so it's like, I mean, look, they're 20K up, but it looks so good. It looks so good.
It does. It just is. That's just the cherry on top of a game like that, right? Oh, that was very loud. All right. Now I figure out how this works. All right. That was a game 2 that I was hoping for. Like if there was a game 2 that I wanted, it would be that game right there. That was about as exciting as it could have possibly been for how hard of a stomp that it was in game 1, right? Like, poor Glacial Globals, they had 1 kill in game 1. Game 2, they had 17. So you have a whole 16 kill improvement. Like, that is character development right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And like when we're actually looking at, I believe we're about to get into the graph for damage. Like you see how different it was. Like Neversaw on this Aurelia, Curie on this Kog'Maw. Like they were doing it. Like they were such a factor for almost the entire game. Like Curie looked like he was actually going to hard smurf on everybody there for a little while. I was like, wow, like he is really doing well. But the way that the coordination on the side of Academy between that J4 LeBlanc, like when I was calling, like, hey, you got to send people to deal with this Kog'Maw. He's super fed at 6 kills, and they send everybody to deal with the Kog'Maw.
The only time that they were able to shut down that Kog'Maw was when they sent all 5 members, right? And I mean, that did kill him. That got you that 500 shutdown or whatever it was, right? And then from that point on, it just looked like Kog'Maw was not a factor in the game anymore. Like he could still do damage, certainly, if he had a team around him, especially if he had his Lulu with him, right? But it was just unfortunate that once Neversaw did get to, or not unfortunate, but once Neversaw did get ahead on the Aurelia, Lulu did stick to him much more than a Kog'Maw did.
Yeah, and I mean the Lulu played really, really well too. It was just a little too little too well, not too little too late. It was just the coordination. That was the factor. Like the layering of CC on the side of Academy was just so clean, and I had a great time casting this game. It was so fun to watch. Great job by both teams.
Yeah, absolutely great job by both teams here. You will have another cast coming up here in just an hour and 10 minutes. I do believe your 9 p.m. EST best of 3 will be brought to you by some different casters here. Once again, I have been Camcom, joined by you tonight by Cursive as well. Thank you all for watching, and don't go anywhere as you will have another best of 3, hopefully just as exciting as this first one was for you in just over an hour. Thank you all for watching, and we will catch you later.